You are now listening to the Pelicans post-game report. Flash report.
Yo, we back at it again, ready to talk some Pelicans basketball. Shout out to PPR, Big Q, and DC. I am Lexxah Drew, a contributor, and new addition to the PPR podcast squad. Y'all already know what it is. Kudos to all the listeners. Truly do appreciate you all tuning in. Glad I got a day to regroup from that Houston Rockets game. It was very much needed. Sometimes I feel like I love this game too much, y'all. But you still got to keep it together because there is more to life than just basketball. So, without further ado, my topic I'm going to speak on is 10 games in, what have we learned about the Pels? So the Pels are currently in the 10th spot in the Western Conference standings on a 4-game losing streak, tied with the Los Angeles Lakers and the Phoenix Suns at 4-5. So let's state the obvious. The Pels don't have a full roster. Guys are still out. That's the obvious. So we got that out the way. We gotta get healthy. Next thing that we've learned is that having one physical therapist is not enough. Okay? We need at least 2 physical therapists. No lie. Look, I understand things take time. You know, the pyramids weren't built in a day. But there are some things with Coach Willie Green that are looking very deja vu. I don't know how long it takes. I don't know the timetable. But Willie Green has not taken major steps in his coaching philosophy or grown from his coaching flaws from past seasons. Willie still lacks the ability to make adjustments during the course of a game. Conflict of interest is clouding his judgment. Whatever his philosophy is, it's becoming very predictable. You know, sometimes I feel like the opponent coaches are looking at him and like, oh my gosh, I mean, are you serious? You're not going to change? You're not going to do anything different? And it's like, oh, okay. Thank you, Willie. Thank you. Appreciate it. And they make the adjustment, and it's like it's killing the Pels. It's like, what are you doing? Why aren't you responding? You know, this thing is a chess match. You have to respond. You got to have a counterpunch to what someone is doing. If someone's punching you, you got to come back with a counterpunch. And it's like we're delayed in that department still. The question is, why are we delayed in that department still? Why? Which brings me to my next point. So far, we have learned that the hierarchy of this Pels team has been compromised, which in turn makes the identity of this team very unclear. Now, I'm very active on social media and in the podcast world, and what I've seen is the majority of the Pels fans believe this is supposed to be Zion's team. I do believe that as well, but looking at everything, he's not. If you're watching these games, you can clearly see that the team is getting further and further away from Point Zion. And Point Zion has proven to work. Now, before I go any further on that, because I know it can be kind of touchy for some people, but one thing that I want to say is that anytime a team is drafting a player as their number 1 pick, automatically you're building your team around that player. You can look at the situation with Wembanyama. Clearly, he is the guy for the Spurs. He is their guy. He's the guy that they're going to build their team around. Now, the next point I want to bring up is, obviously, Zion has not been available. He's been dealing with injuries. Well, I'm going to bring up some examples to address that part of it. Steph Curry, he was not available the first 4 or 5 years that he was in the league. The same thing with Joel Embiid. But the team and the organization made it clear that those were their guys. Steph Curry was the Warriors' guy. They did not give up on him. They stuck with him. The same thing with Joel Embiid. And actually, Zion has played more games than Joel Embiid. So for those of you all who want to focus on the availability and the injuries, guess what? Steph Curry and Joel Embiid, they made it clear that even while they were down, that those were their guys. And look at them now. The organization has made it clear that those are their guys. And this is nothing against B.I. or CJ, or anyone else on the team for that matter. I mean, really, is that something that's in question when we think about Dallas and Doncic? When we think about Anthony Edwards with the T-Wolves? When we think about LeBron with the Lakers? When we think about Steph and the Warriors? Joel Embiid with the Sixers? Giannis at the Bucks? Jimmy Butler with Miami? You know, the thing is, it's clear who that guy is on the team because all the pieces around understand their roles. That's why establishing that hierarchy, it kills all confusion. You can't have two captains. You have a captain and a co-captain. You have a pilot and a co-pilot. It is what it is. We're learning that we're not utilizing the weapons on this team at the fullest, at full strength. And yes, I understand the roster is not at full strength. We get that. But we still have players on the floor that can be impactful on the game in turn winning at a high level. The Zion and B.I. duo is not working. Let's just be honest. At this very moment, I'll say that. It's just not working. Every once in a blue moon, they connect on a nice play, but I mean, are we just trying to see one play every once in a blue moon, or are we trying to see plays every night from the two of them? I don't know. You all tell me. But we've learned that Zion getting a double-double or close to a triple-double, shooting 50% from field goal, is a bad game for Zion. A bad game. Man, that is one heck of a bad game, you know, when you have a guy like Zion getting a double-double and close to near a triple-double. That's a bad game. So just imagine if the team or the coaching staff is running plays for him and we can truly experience Zion unleashed, because I think it's safe to say we have yet to really experience Zion being unleashed. But a bad game for him is putting up a double-double and close to a triple-double. When I was seeing that in a lot of comments, I was like, wow, that is crazy. So the optimism of, you know, him really elevating his game is very high if that is considered to be a bad game for him. We have learned, and it's been confirmed, that the Borrego offense is still a struggle. The offense and defense is very inconsistent, as well as the energy during the course of the game. The Pels have yet to put a full 4 quarters together. And it starts with effort and energy, being engaged and being disciplined. We've learned that Kyra Lewis Jr. has not moved the needle in proving his case on why he should receive more playing time for this Pels team. As you can see, he has been, you know, outplayed by the rookie in Jordan Hawkins. He did not play against Houston in the last game. Sebron played his minutes. I like Kyra Lewis Jr. I really do. But in the same breath, he hasn't been showing us enough. Speaking of which, Jordan Hawkins, we've learned that he's been a great pickup for this team. He has a lot of energy, a lot of effort. He's been shooting his butt off. Still a little streaky, but that is expected because he is a rookie and he's still learning. So the learning curve for him is very high. I'm excited about, you know, just excited about how his game continues to grow. We've learned that B.I. is still not comfortable from shooting from behind the arc, and Zion is not comfortable shooting that mid-range. So that's one thing that both of them can continue to improve upon. Again, it's a long season, but on a positive note, the effort for both of them on the defensive end is improving. We've learned that even though the team is going through all these things, and it's not looking pretty, y'all. It's looking bad. It is looking bad. But the team is still trending upwards. There's still much to be optimistic about. I mean, it's a lot of small details that need to be addressed. But, the attention on those details is very crucial in this team's success. And hopefully they're not in the same spot 20 games into the season. So with that being said, that's all I got for y'all. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below on what you've learned about this Pelicans basketball team 10 games into the season. Kudos to those who have tuned in. I am Lexxah Drew, and I'm out, y'all.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans.